What's going on, you guys? My name is Kyle. I'm a full-time futures trader and founder of Opinicus. This video is actually a clip. It is a segment from a recent trading mentorship group where I'm asked about how I set my levels of interest on both NQ and ES. Now, my levels tend to be quite accurate. They're not always perfect, but they do tend to be quite accurate day after day. This is the exact process I use to set those levels.
I have a question about how you pull up your levels of interest. And I asked this before, but I have like conflicting views, I guess, whenever I look at the 30-minute. And for example, the level 330, I could see if I was to not know about, your level 330, I would mark it as 350 on my chart. Just I know you
350,
mentioned that
yeah.
you look for LOIs at price wherever it pivoted.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like how do I pick the perfect, I guess, price? Like you always mention, or I guess you always nail it to the tick.
I don't know about
And well,
that.
still, like I'm always off about 20 to 50 points. Like I can see it as a zone,
Yeah.
but I could never get it, to where it's your levels get tested almost, to the point every time.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's honestly there's no trick or anything. There's really nothing special to it. I literally just look at I think the 330 we've had for a while. And so I literally just look at, all right, well, where is price turning, and then where is it turning most frequently? Like essentially, I wouldn't, for example, I wouldn't consider like this a level, right? Because it only tests it once. So, okay, it'll be significant maybe for 12 hours or 24 hours. But as far as like higher time frame levels, I just zoom out and I'm just, again, I wish I had something else to say, like some trick about it. But I, I look at where price kind of moves and I slap a level there. Now, I will say that to eliminate some of the noise, what can be helpful is just getting off the 30 and then jumping into the 60. And I think when we get to the 60, 330 becomes a little bit more clear because you have these areas through here, you have this area through here, this area through here, right? 330 still holds over here, over here. And then, yeah, 350 starts to become more significant in this area. But what I think about that action is like, most likely traders have now identified 330 and they're just front running it, right? So the structure is getting a little bit tighter. But I mean, 330 to 350, we're talking about like the length of, one 30-second candle on NQ. So it doesn't really make a big difference to me, 20 points. Except for scenarios like today, because if I did have a level at, or if I did have, my support area at 300 rather than 330, I probably would have been slapping that range all morning. So sometimes it can kind of get in the way or just be slightly off. But typically, I'm just looking at, I mean, like you said, I just look at the zones and I try and get as accurate as I can. And then the other thing I'll add about it is I don't do like 333.5. Like to me, that's just nonsense. I just I round off to, whatever the nearest is going to be, 330, right? A lot of the times it's going to be like the whole round number. The psychological levels are definitely legit just based on human nature. And yeah, that's it, man. I mean, if you find too much noise on the 30, best thing I could say is zoom out, get on the hourly, get on the 2 hour. And what we're really looking for is those areas where price is responding repeatedly, not just one time. One time, again, it may be significant for like the next session or whatever. And don't be afraid, at the end of the day to update. Like previously, I had a level at 620. That was before price had even visited up here. And then it became clear to me that 600 was the level. And so I changed the 620 to 600. Okay, this is the level now, just based on, again, I'm not making it up. I'm just looking at, all right, where does price actually respond? Where does price actually respond? And then you'll have scenarios where these areas are tricky and annoying, right? 500 by 530. Typically, stuff like that, I'll literally just take the rectangle tool and put a zone through there where it's not really clear what level it actually is, or is it 500, is it 530? So I'll just go like this, and that's a visual reminder for me to not try anything crazy in there, because I treat that all as like supply zone. Sellers are sitting somewhere in there. I don't know where exactly, but I know they're there. I don't want to be long anywhere near that area, because again, we know sellers are sitting there. So that's about it. As far as the levels, I think, I really think that one of the best things you could do is just zoom out. Like zoom out. The 30-minute, 15-minute, you're gonna get a ton of noise. 30-minute, a good amount of noise. Hourly cleans it up. 2 hour is also very, very helpful. And again, like we're looking at, say, areas where price has tested like 4 or 5 plus times. Not saying like, oh, I have a level right here. Oh, I have a level right here. I don't that's insignificant to me. And that's probably why the levels seem accurate, is because I can just mentally filter out some of these, little blips that are just insignificant. And again, the best way to do that is just through amount of times price has actually been to that point. Is it 1? Okay, probably not a significant level. Unless, I'll add an asterisk to that, unless it's like marking like a major high like this, right? So hope that helps.
Right, and that makes sense.